All right, well, hey everybody. Part two of our Google Tag Manager. We're diving into the Google Ads. Now, up to this point, I've already created a Google Ads account. Go to ads.google.com. And when you set that up, what you'll want to do is make sure that you select the expert mode. Do not use the Google Ads that's kind of connected to the Google My Business. It's AdWords Express is what it used to be. And it's basically, it doesn't give you full control. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use Google Tag Manager over here to implement a Google Ads account. So once you get the account open, what we're going to want to do is come in here and we're going to go to Tools up on the top. We're going to go to Audience Manager. So we want to get this basic code, and what we're going to do is we're going to do Audience Sources. So Audience Source, and we're going to go Google Ads Tag, and we're going to set up the Google Ads Tag, and we're going to collect all the juicy data. We're going to do custom, so remarketing. Basically, we're doing the remarketing, okay? And hit save and continue. And what we're going to do is we're going to use Google Tag Manager to install this. So what we'll do is we'll grab the ID here and we'll come over, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to add the Google tag, and we have a new, we're going to use all pages on this. So new tag and do Google Ads Remarketing. And the tag configuration. Over here you have Google Ads Remarketing. So we're going to select that. And when you look over here, you saw that we have the conversion ID, and we're going to go in and we're going to do the conversion ID. Triggered on all pages. Hit save. And there we go. So that's the first thing that we're going to want to do. The second thing we will want to do is we will want to do some conversions, some attribution. There's all sorts of stuff that we'll want to do. But up front, or the first thing that I would want to do is go to conversions. And once we have conversions, we're going to be cooking with fire here. So let's add a conversion. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the website. And these are the main ones. So we're going to just replicate what we just did in Google Analytics. So we're going to do submit a lead form, lead form. Now I name these distinctly in this system. And real quick, when you add that remarketing, you also have to add what's called the conversion linker. And what you do is go conversion linker, enable override. We'll just leave that. You don't have to do anything else there, but let's do that on all pages. Conversion linker. Make sure you put the conversion linker in there, otherwise it doesn't work. Now what we'll do is we're going to do ads. So Google Ads, form, all forms. Okay. Go to tag configuration, and what we're going to do is Google Ads conversion tracking. All right. So we've come over. We've got lead form, or all forms. Now he could have a form that he wanted checked out differently. I'm not going to put a value to it. I'm going to do it every time it gets filled out. 30-day window, last click. We'll just leave all that. So create. Now, how are you going to install it? You could go in there and use a thank you page. You could do a whole bunch of different things. I'm just going to use the Google Tag Manager. So now I've got the conversion ID. Grab the conversion ID and come put it where it said conversion ID. And then let's go to the conversion label. Copy and paste the conversion label. And boom, we have it. Now value, I leave that. Order ID, I leave that. We'll just leave everything else here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use this on the forms all. Boom. Skadoosh. So we'll hit next. We'll hit done. Let's do the same thing for a click to call. So, and this is kind of weird. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do website, and we're going to do lead, but it's going to be different. So request quote, we'll just go for that. So we do click phone TEL is what I'm going to call it. Don't use a value, and we're going to do it once, because people might hit the button a bunch of times, right? And hit next, install with Tag Manager, grab this ID, let's move fast. All right, new ads, or Google Ads click to call, boom, and Google Ads conversion tracking, ID, label. You guys having fun yet? Oh my gosh. This is so excruciating. And we're going to do click telephone tell and hit save. All right. Once we've got that, now what we can do is we can hit submit. Ads conversion added. Let's go save that. While that's doing that, we'll hit save here or hit next. And boom goes the dynamite. Now those are unverified because we don't have any in there. We actually haven't even gone live with it. Let's come over here and let's look at it in the preview mode again. Preview, and we should refresh the preview, and all we're doing is we're continuing to check are the tags on there, and then we would want to fill out the form and see. So we see them all: analytics, Google Ads. Let's just go up here and let's fill out this ad. This is a long one, by the way. It's usually not that long. And we'll hit submit. Thank you for your registration. Now if we look here, conversion linker forms analytic event, Google Ads all form, Google Ads remarketing, so everything fired. It said fired one time. We're going. It's working. And so let's keep cooking. So we've got the sitemap done. We've got Webmaster. We're still in analytics. So let's go back to analytics. We've got Tag Manager. We've done the Google Ads setup. That's pretty good. We've got remarketing set up. We've got some basic conversion actions set up. And that's probably a good start for all of you. Now, you'd want to do ads for conversions whenever you do this. But while we're in Google Ads, let's go to Tools. And then what we're going to do is we're going to link accounts. Okay, and that's going to be this next thing. We're going to link all of these accounts we just opened. So Google Analytics. I've got a lot of these. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do Firehouse. And once you find it, you're going to hit link. So link all data, import site metrics. So I just linked Google Analytics to Google Ads. And if I come in here and refresh the page in just a second, it should be totally linked. Let's go back to link all accounts. And the next thing I would do is we're going to hook up the Search Console down here. So let's tell Search Console, yes, we want to be linked. And let's just type in our domain. Again, this one's using the www, HTTPS. And this should just do, take out the HTTPS, just do www. Sometimes it's not www. So we're going to claim this at Search Console. It should go. See, this is what's funny is, so I'm going to add a TXT record real quick. Every once in a while, it gets hung up between all the connections. So here I am. I'm actually in my domain registrar. I'm going to add a TXT record. And so you'd log into GoDaddy, you'd log into wherever. And there we go. That should go fairly quick. No, that's not what I want. TXT at. I screwed up. I'm having a little delusional moment here. Google Ads, connect, claim it, Search Console, TXT. Oh, I don't need to put a TXT I save. So W is still the same. TXT was added. The verification should be added. We should be able to, now this is just goofy. So I've already verified. I already have this thing. But for some reason it doesn't quite. So boom, we got it. So I had to add the TXT file to connect it. Sometimes I bump into that. Sometimes I don't. Go back to linked account. So now we've got Search Console connected. You could go in here and add your YouTube channel, and you'd go to your admin and get YouTube. That's a great thing if you're like Feedbackwrench and you've got a decent little lead generating YouTube channel. Check out my other video about why YouTube is the cat's meow. And boom, there we go. So let's go back into analytics now. Let's refresh this. And let's make sure that everything kind of took. I've already refreshed it a couple times, but let's go to property settings. And we'll go down there. Search Console should be done. Adjust. Yep, so that's still there. And then let's go to, there's a section here called Google Ads linking. Google ad is linked. That's great. That's good. Let's do that now. We don't need to do this, but there's 2 extra things that we could do, right? So let's go to goals. And what we could do is we could add in a new goal, and whatever I labeled that, go to tags. Let's find out what we called it in analytics as so Google Analytics, remarketing, conversion linker forms analytics. So when they do a form, I gave it so the action is called any form, right? So I just want any form, capital A. And what we'll do here is we'll say, when somebody becomes a lead, we'll do custom. So not template, but custom. So again, I went to goals, and what we're going to do is we're going to set up a goal to tell analytics that this was a goal for us, right? So I'm just going to name it any form, goal ID, destination. The event is what I'm going to use. So because Tag Manager is telling us is going to create an event called any form, and the action is called any form. You could have done the category too. We'll hit save. And then let's just go double check and grab the same analytics format conversion, like a Clink phone. I love my naming. I bet that the OCD people just went crazy seeing how I don't name them exactly the same. Be organized while you're doing this. So now what we'll do is we'll do the phone, same type of deal, custom. We'll add these goals in, and then the other thing that we'll do, so every time this event comes through, it's seen as a full conversion. So the action equals that, hit save. Now, if the site had been around for a while, this is a brand new site, we could verify it and say, hey, it looks like some people, I see that the verification doesn't usually work very well, so just take it with a grain of salt. And then the other thing that you can do is you can go to audiences, okay? So audience, where is it? Audiences, define audiences, audience definitions, okay? So we can go to audiences, and what we can do is and you have to enable the remarketing on all users. And let's add a destination. So whenever we do this, we can do Google Ads and Analytics. This will just add the analytics stuff into Google Ads. It's not necessary, but let's do it. Resource, yeah, so that was kind of interesting. So basically, what we'll do is we will X the Google Ads on and hit enable. One or more fields containing invalid data. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have to say, sorry. You could do all users. You have to define which users. Returning users. So what we'll do is we'll say all returning. We're kind of new in this because it hasn't been up and running very well. There's nobody in there. But that's where you'd come through and you'd define audiences. We'll just stop right there. And here's the next thing we're going to do. We're going to dive into Facebook, adding the code into there. But as of right now, we've got a pretty good start going. And let's keep diving. What would I do with a new site? And how do we get rolling?